space. That is the perfect thing to do launch tech on, because now you can get launched super high in the air. You can probably also do this one really well. Oh yeah, wow. Do you want to know how to launch yourself in the air or move literally like 50% faster? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you basically every single movement trick. Make sure to like and subscribe. I'm trying to get to 100,000 subs and I'm getting kind of close. So please check if you're subscribed. Big percentage of people are not subscribed watching my videos. Now, very basics, and I'm going to go through this very, very quickly. WASD to move around, of course. Shift to sprint. If you press C while you're sprinting, you will slide. Very, very simple. I'm not going to go through that for very long. The first thing you might want to know is how to super jump. Now, super jumping is very, very easy. If you're sprinting and you press X, you'll dolphin dive. Now, dolphin diving is pretty nice. You can fall into prone, but most people do not dolphin dive basically ever because they're always super jumping. Basically, all you got to do is sprint and then jump and then press X. That's it. And you can do this and jump into prone like this. Or if you aim down sights, you'll actually cancel your prone position. So you can jump up to here and then be standing. A lot of people super jump and then always ADS. That's usually what I do too. But there are times where you want to jump up to here and then be in prone because maybe there's somebody up here. It's a pretty nice little piece of movement tech that basically everybody already knows. But if you didn't, that's how to do it. Next up, we have the Zingus Slide. Now the Zingus Slide is pretty interesting. It's basically just a tiny speed boost that you get. It used to be a lot bigger, but it depends on how far you're falling. All you have to do is sprint and slide off of a building or any height at all, let go of shift midair, and then hit shift again when you're going to hit the ground. So like that, as you can see. So I'm going to slide off the building like that. And then as I'm sliding off, I'm going to let go of shift, and then I'm going to hit shift again right as I hit the ground. Just gives you a little bit of extra speed, and it depends on how far you're falling. Obviously, you will start to take full damage. So yeah, if I slide down, I get a much bigger one, but I start to take fall damage. Next up is the standing slide. Now, this is the most important component of any piece of movement tech that's more complicated. And as you can see, I'm Emp sliding right now, but this is basically the standing slide. As you sprint, all you have to do is let go of shift like this, obviously, just stop sprinting. And right when you do that, you want to press C, but then also press space. So it'll look like this. As you can see, I'm sliding, right? But then I'm pressing space, which is bringing me out of the slide at the same time. I keep accidentally Emp sliding. You're going to press them at the exact same time. So C and space at the same time, but C first. So it's the same time, but it's actually C slightly first, like 1 millisecond beforehand, like this. Because if you do it the other way, you're going to actually hit a jump slide, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Now we need to get on to the Emp slide. As you can see, I'm doing it right now. I'm basically doing a standing slide, and then I'm getting a little bit of a speed boost. And it does make you move a little bit faster, and that's one of the most important pieces of movement tech. Make sure you're doing a standing slide right now. That's the first component. And after you do your standing slide for just a little bit, like near the end, you're going to press space again and then shift. So C and space, and then space and shift. So I'm letting go of my sprint, and then I'm doing a slide, and then I'm jumping and starting my sprint again. And midair, somehow, that gives you a little bit of extra movement speed. So once again, that is a standing slide, so C space, and then you jump at the end of it, and then press shift again. So jump and shift should not be the same time. They should actually be about 1/4 of a second apart. You can also practice the space shift part. It should look something like that. You're jumping, and then you're starting a sprint again. And if you do those two pieces of movement tech together, now you're doing an Emp slide. Next thing is called the Emp Jump. As you can see, I can't jump up here, which is really annoying. Like, I can't jump high enough. So what I can do is I can super jump up here and be on top. However, after you super jump, as you can see, it takes me a second to start actually moving again, and I can't slide during that time. However, if you do an Emp Jump, you can actually jump up here and then super jump and do whatever you want. And an Emp Jump is very simple. Basically, at the end of your Emp Slide, you jump a little bit higher. So basically, all you have to do is Emp Slide right before you hit this, and you jump up a little bit higher. This is very nice on Metro if you know any of those green little, I don't even know what they are, little booths, I guess, that are all over the map in the center. You can jump on top of those without having to waste your super jump. Now, the next thing is called the jump slide. Now, the jump slide is very, very hard to do. It also depends on your frame rate. Now, I have uncapped frame rate, which is basically killing my jump slides, but as you can see, I am jump sliding right now. It's just not happening every single time. I'll leave a link in the description for LJ the person. He's a basically Phantom Forces movement player. His videos are very good, and he does have a guide on how to do this. So if you're having trouble from my guide, then go check that out. This is like a reversed Emp slide, kind of. Instead of pressing C and space at the same time, but C first, you're pressing them at the same time, but space first. And this has to be very, very perfect in terms of your timing. It has to be space and then see the next frame. So right away, you need to press it. And you're basically just taking your thumb and your pointer finger and pressing thumb down, then pointer finger right away. And of course, you're letting go of shift as you're doing this and then pressing it as you hit the ground. Now, this is actually, I think, a little bit faster than Emp sliding. The reason I don't go for this all the time is because, yeah, it's kind of inconsistent. Like, you're going to get it sometimes, but then you're not going to do it a few times in a row, and it's not going to be overall as fast. I like Emp sliding because I can basically do it every single time with no struggle at all. Now, jump sliding does allow you to do some cool movement tech. If you land a jump slide and then go into a mantle, you'll get a lot of speed, but you have to land them right away. So do the jump slide and then mantle. It doesn't really work on all mantleable objects. So what I do recommend you actually do instead is probably just do a standing slide, because that's going to work a little bit better. Now, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go to Desert Storm because this game ended. And Desert Storm does work really well for a lot of the movement tech I'm going to talk about here. This I'm just going to call Mantle Superjumping. I don't really think it has a name to it, but it's actually very helpful on Desert Storm. What you want to do is sprint up to here and then mantle right when you get to it. As you reach the top of your mantle, let go of shift, then press X and then right click. This is going to be really difficult to do. It's got some weird timing to it. You have to wait till the top of your mantle, let go shift, and then X and right click. It's not super complicated, but the timing can take a long time to get used to. I practiced it for probably a few minutes and I'm okay at it, but I do have a lot of time on this game, so that probably helped me. I know a lot of the movement tech already, so yeah, maybe if there's somebody checking this area over here, it's really situational, but it does work in a lot of areas. You can also use it on this building, of course, to, well, you can use it to get over here as well. So yeah, that's actually a component of long jumping as well. So basically the way that you do a long jump, which is the next thing I'll talk about, is you do a jump slide into a mantle into a super jump. And I'm not going to do a jump slide because you can do it without a jump slide by just doing a standing slide. And as you can see, I got all the way across. You can do an even longer gap if you just do this and then you super jump at the end. So basically all you have to do is do a standing slide or a jump slide, mantle, and then press X and right click at the same time. Now you can hold out your melee when you start this, and then that will allow you to get a little bit of extra speed, but then you have to switch to your gun right away to right click. So it can be a little bit complicated to do that. The next piece of movement tech I like to call fast ladder. Now fast ladder is pretty simple. All you have to do is come from a 45-degree angle. Oh, I accidentally did a ladder jump, but that's basically the same thing. So you come from a 45-degree angle, standing slide, and then jump up. That's going to give you a little bit of a faster ladder. But you can also, while you're doing this ladder thing, come in from a 45-degree angle, standing slide, and ADS as you hit the ladder, and sometimes it'll send you into the sky. The next thing I'm going to show you is one, how to peek over ladders, which is basically just look up and then go on the ladder, and now you can actually peek over the ladder. Sometimes it'll make you aim down sights, but as you can see, like normally if I just walk up to a ladder, it's going to stop me from aiming until I reach the top, basically. Depends on the ladder though, but if I just look up, boom, you can actually shoot over. This next piece allows you to go up ladders very, very quickly. However, all of this ladder tech is only on these slanted ladders. If it's a straight up and down ladder, it does not work. None of this works on those because those are boring. Desert Storm has basically only these ladders, except the one over there is not. And this next piece of movement tech is very, very easy to do. All you have to do is walk up like this, back into a ladder, and then hold down space. So look down, just hold S, and then press space as you hit the ladder. Very, very simple to do. And the nice thing that you can do with these is jump up here. It could help you in some gunfights, like you come up here and then you just jump and you're now on the roof. It's one of my favorite pieces of movement tech because you can kind of just walk around Desert Storm basically all the time and do it. The reason I do like the fast ladder tech of just doing this is that it's a little bit faster because you're basically just using an Emp Jump and a little bit of extra speed to get up a ladder instead of having to look back and then hold down backwards. It doesn't really work as well, not gonna lie. Like during a gunfight, you want to look at people, not away. Now my favorite stream meme is called chair movement tech, okay? And it's specifically with these chairs. Now they are also all the way over there, up there. And I think there's a couple other spots on this map, but basically if you see these chairs in particular, basically you just standing slide into them like this, of course, just a very simple piece of movement tech. Like I said, standing sliding is basically the most important piece of most of this movement tech. And then as you hit the back of the chair, you're gonna hold down space. So standing slide and let go of shift, and then you're gonna press space. Now, sometimes this will just send you over the top of this. Usually you can get it pretty consistent to go over the top of it. For some reason, I can't do it right now. Okay, now I'm just getting teleported back. You can also aim down sights to help you a little bit. I don't think it's really necessary, but I feel like it's easier to do. You can get into their spawn area, basically. And yeah, sometimes it will launch you higher. For fun on stream, I'll usually just mess around and do it. Okay, I got a big one that time. But next, I need to talk about the very most important piece of movement tech. Just kidding, but it is really fun, which is called launch tech. Can you do it on here? I wonder if you can do launch tech on here. Oh, you can do a little one. This is a baby one to start with because it can go a lot higher than this, but essentially what you're doing here is you're doing a standing slide, and as you're hitting the object, you want to do some launch tech on, you aim down sights and jump at the same time, like that. Now, this one is not giving me a lot of height. The reason for that is because it's not a very big object. You might be wondering, what objects can you actually do this launch tech on? Basically, anything that you're kind of mantling without mantling, where it's a very steep object and you're kind of like sticking to it, but then going over it. As you can see, even though it's like a 90-degree angle on this rock, I'm still able to climb. And that's basically added to this game, so you don't have to jump over every little tiny obstacle. However, it can allow a little bit of launch tech, and it gets a lot crazier. The main map for this is actually Warehouse. You'll see a lot of really good players doing this on Warehouse, and that's because this area has a ton of really large objects that you actually do this mantling on. So as you can see, I'm mantling this, but I'm not really mantling it, but I'm climbing it without having to press space. That is the perfect thing to do launch tech on, because now you can get launched super high in the air and basically do it like almost every single time. Now, your timing does dictate how high up you do it. So you want to like kind of scope out what is actually making you mantle. So this side is not really doing it that much, but this side is, which means it's really good. So you can basically go at like almost any angle with these cars and usually hit a little bit of it at least, but usually a lot more. It has to be something that you're not going to mantle, but it is kind of like auto mantling you for you, okay? Like this. There you go. One of my favorites right here is this truck, because you can jump up and then you can like quick scope people across the map. But you know what place is really helpful? Right here. Now, right here, you can actually do this because as you can see, I am mantling up. Gonna be the epic spot, as you can see, because I can get all the way up here. You can probably also do this one really well. Oh yeah, wow. So yeah, standing slide and then press space and ADS at the same time when you hit the object. Yeah, if you guys did enjoy, make sure to like and subscribe if you're new, but I will see you guys in the next one. Peace. Have a nice day.